The Grand Armada of the Sentin Collective hovered in perfect formation above Earth. 300 warships, each carrying 5,000 of the most feared warriors in the known galaxy, prepared for what they assumed would be a quick conquest of yet another primitive world. Commander Lark stood on the bridge of the flagship, his forearms crossed over his armored chest as he reviewed the data on the humans. According to initial scans, they were fragile bipeds from a high-gravity death world with extreme temperature variations, toxic oxygen atmosphere, and deadly radiation from their sun. By all accounts, they should have been simple to subjugate, like the hundreds of species before them. Send the delegation to their leadership, Lark ordered. Standard intimidation protocol. Show them our technological superiority and demand their immediate surrender. Lieutenant Mira nodded. The delegation has landed at their designated global meeting place. The humans have sent their top mathematical minds as requested. It was standard procedure. The Sentin always demanded to meet with the planet's mathematicians first. Mathematical prowess was the universal measure of intelligence, and the Sentin enjoyed demonstrating their superiority before crushing a world spirit. Most species could barely comprehend four-dimensional calculus, which the Sentin had mastered 10,000 years ago. Visual feed online, announced Mira. The screen flickered to life, showing 12 Sentin warriors in their full battle regalia facing a group of unassuming humans seated at simple tables with writing instruments. Beings of Earth, began General Dorn, the leader of the delegation, we come to test your intellect before we determine your worth in our collective. Your species will now demonstrate your mathematical knowledge. The humans looked at each other and shrugged. A gray-haired man named Tom stepped forward. We understand, Tom said. What level would you like us to begin with? Dorn laughed, the sound echoing through his helmet. Begin with your most advanced concepts. We will then show you true mathematical mastery. Tom nodded and turned to his colleagues. Let's start with some basic differential topology and work our way up. For the next hour, Commander Lark watched with growing unease as the humans filled board after board with equations. The Sentin delegation remained silent, their postures becoming increasingly rigid. What is happening? Lark demanded. Why aren't our warriors responding? Mira's voice was tight. Commander, they cannot follow the mathematics. The humans have moved beyond standard tensor calculus into something called manifold theory, and are now discussing something called string theory with 11 dimensions. Impossible. Lark slammed a fist down. No death world species could possibly advance to multidimensional mathematics. They must be bluffing. On the screen, Tom was now explaining something called quantum field theory, while a woman named Anne demonstrated proof of something called the Riemann hypothesis. General Dorn's voice finally crackled through the communication system. Commander, request immediate extraction. These humans, their mathematical concepts are weapons we cannot defend against. Weapons? Lark was confused. They're just equations. No, Commander. They're manipulating reality itself through these equations. They casually work with concepts our greatest minds have only theorized. They solved the unified field theory centuries ago. And worse, they call these basic undergraduate concepts. The feed showed another human, Bill, now explaining something called multiverse correlation mathematics that supposedly allowed for calculations across parallel realities. One of the Sentin warriors had removed his helmet and was breathing heavily, eyes wide with panic. They'd model chaos as a predictable system, he gasped. They quantify infinity in multiple orders. They treat higher dimensions as common space. Commander Lark felt a chill run through his exoskeleton. The humans weren't even using computational devices, just marking symbols on boards with their hands at incredible speeds, working through problems that the most advanced Sentin supercomputers would take years to process. Abort the mission, Lark ordered, his voice hollow. Recall all personnel immediately. Commander? Mira questioned. A species that can manipulate mathematics at this level could destroy our entire fleet with a few calculations. They're not showing us their knowledge. They're warning us. Within minutes, the Sentin delegation was scrambling back to their shuttle, some warriors stumbling in their haste to escape the humans who continued to calmly write equations on their boards. As the Grand Armada prepared for emergency translocation, Commander Lark watched the blue planet recede on the view screen. How? He asked no one in particular. How could beings from such a hostile world develop such abstract thinking? An elder science advisor who had been silent until now spoke up. Perhaps it is because of their world, not despite it. In constant danger, their minds evolved to see patterns where others see chaos, to find order in a hostile environment. Mark this system as prohibited, Lark ordered. No sentient vessel is to approach Earth again, and classify humans as an apex intellectual species. As the Armada vanished into hyperspace, the humans in the meeting room were gathering their notes. Do you think they understood any of it? Anne asked. Tom shrugged. Probably not, but I think they got the message. Bill laughed. Poor aliens. And we didn't even show them our advanced stuff. The three mathematicians walked out into the sunlight, contemplating where to get lunch, while in distant parts of the galaxy, the legend of the terrifying humans and their reality-bending mathematics began to spread.